Xbox CEO Phil Spencer has acknowledged the big, passionate desires of Banjo-Kazooie fans for a revival of the iconic franchise, which has now been dormant for over 15 years. That's right, it was November of 2008 when the best game in the series and the most recent game in the series, Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts, came out. And if you know much about Banjo-Kazooie history, you know that I'm definitely joking. When I say that it was the best, it was definitely the worst. And so yeah, ever since that really not good game over 15 years ago, we have not had anything from Banjo. Nintendo did add him to Smash a while back, but it's been about 4 years since that happened. But in a very recent interview with Windows Central, Phil Spencer expressed his awareness of the community's repeated pleas for a new game in the series and emphasized the importance of finding the right team and opportunity before revisiting beloved stories and characters. Addressing the process of reviving older franchises, Spencer highlighted the necessity of passion within the development team, even if it is not the original creators, which I think is very relevant for Banjo-Kazooie because Rare, the team behind Banjo, they have definitely moved on to other projects. They have found a lot of success in recent years with Sea of Thieves, and they've kind of been really big on that franchise. So if a new Banjo game came out, it probably would not be made by Rare. But Phil Spencer did stress the significance of involving the original developers in discussions and development processes, citing valuable lessons learned from past experiences. Now, rumors about a new Banjo-Kazooie game have circulated over the years with occasional skepticism from former developers. Despite the absence of a recent installment, Banjo-Kazooie made a sort of cameo, I guess you could call it, in Nintendo Switch's online service. So Nintendo Switch Online has a bunch of old Nintendo 64 games on it, and Microsoft agreed to allow Banjo-Kazooie, the original game, on that service. I believe it was very successful on that service too. And this, along with Banjo-Kazooie's inclusion in Super Smash Bros., only reignited fans' hopes that much more for a proper comeback. But Phil Spencer, while not confirming an imminent revival, reassured fans that their requests are heard and that the key lies in identifying the right team and opportunity, which, with me being a huge Banjo-Kazooie fan, as much as I roll my eyes to that, I do understand it, I do respect it, that they don't want to just push out something for a cash grab. They want to get the right team on board. They want to do it right, and I definitely like that. Also, the possibility of a new Banjo-Kazooie game extending beyond Xbox platforms was also discussed, considering previous collaborations between Xbox and Nintendo, such as what I discussed earlier with, Super Smash Bros. And bringing back the old game onto Nintendo Switch Online. The interview touched on Microsoft's acquisition of Rare way back in 2002, acknowledging expectations for more Xbox installments of classic franchises, including Banjo-Kazooie, which have obviously been relatively scarce. Now, Phil Spencer's recent comments echo his sentiments from a previous interview in 2020, emphasizing the need for a right team and opportunity when reviving classic franchises. Despite the continued presence of Banjo-Kazooie in various collaborations, the question of a new multi-million-dollar installment remains uncertain, with Spencer acknowledging the challenge of gauging the audience's size and enthusiasm for such a huge venture. Like I said, while I have, now been waiting for over 15 years now for a proper Banjo 3, proper next installment in the series, that's not just Lego vehicles, which is what Nuts and Bolts was. While I am eagerly biting my nails waiting for the next installment, I do definitely respect what Phil Spencer said about getting the right team and the right opportunity to release it. As much as I want a Banjo-Kazooie game now, if they're gonna do it, they need to do it right. And based on this interview, it sounds like Xbox wants to do it that way.